whenever there's a temptation, there's always a lie tied up with it at the same time. We saw that demonstrated really in a couple of our readings today. In the first reading, we heard about Adam and Eve and the temptation they faced in Genesis chapter 3. So in this passage, of course, we remember that Adam and Eve had been told that they can eat the fruit of any of the trees of the garden, just not this one. And from what I can tell, they weren't exactly tempted by the tree by itself. It wasn't until the serpent came in and started to kind of mess with their minds a little bit, started to lie to them. Because, it was a fruit, right? Who's really tempted by a fruit? It's not like it was a double-stuffed Oreo or something. Like, it's not, this fruit in itself they see is good. But I'm guessing that it wasn't exactly a temptation for them until the evil one starts to mess with their minds. This is what happens with Eve. Like, the evil one starts saying to her, well, you're not going to die. Okay, that's a lie. She's going to die. But he starts to convince her that somehow God was withholding something, right? He says, that if you eat of this, God doesn't want you to eat from this tree because he knows that if you do, you'll become like gods. It's a silly thing to say, because what was the point of Genesis chapter 1 when God says, let us make humanity after our image and likeness, right? They're already like God. They've already been made in God's image and likeness. They have intellect, they have will, they have hearts that are made for love. They're already like God. And yet somehow they feel like they're believing this lie that God is holding something back. God isn't fully good, so they eat from the tree. Okay, so their temptation was tied up with a lie. Same thing with Jesus in the desert here, in the wilderness. Jesus has been fasting 40 days and 40 nights. Afterwards, he's hungry. Then the tempter shows up. Notice he comes at the weakest point. He didn't catch Jesus on day 2. He waited until after 40 days, according to Gospel of Matthew here. Afterwards, he was hungry. Then the tempter approaches him and says, if you are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread. Now, he's going to give him 3 temptations here. He's going to tempt him to turn the stones into bread to feed himself. He's going to tempt him to throw himself off of the temple. And then he's going to tempt him to have all of the kingdoms of the world. Again, Satan's trying to sell Jesus something he already has. He's already king of the universe. He doesn't need Satan to give him all the kingdoms of the world. And yet, this lie that the evil one's trying to sow in there, he keeps using this phrase, if you are the Son of God. If you are the Son of God. Now, in the previous chapter, Jesus was baptized, and this is when the big booming voice from heaven says, this is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. So God has announced that this is the Son of God to everybody. And now the devil is trying to lie to Jesus. If you are the Son of God, if you are the Son of God. And maybe, with this temptation to food, like as if God the Father is never going to provide for you. No one's going to take care of you. You just have to do this yourself. Right? So his temptation is tied up with a lie. It's the same thing for us, no matter what it is that we deal with. Take, for example, gossip. Maybe the temptation is gossip. The lie could be a number of things, but the lie that's often tied up with that is, well, if I don't talk about so-and-so, they're going to think I'm weird for not talking about them. Or I'm not going to be cool enough now. I'm not going to fit in. They're going to stop being my friends. Like, probably when you phrase it all that way, you can see this all sounds really stupid. But in the moment, it feels like a real thing. I don't know how to get out of this situation. I feel like I need to choose gossip because it's the only way that I can keep my friends. Right? The lie is tied up with the temptation. Or maybe consider some of the more escapist type sins. I'm tempted to escape into eating too much or drinking too much or pornography or drugs. The things that make us want to escape from the life, the emotions, the sufferings of whatever's going on in my life right now. And the lie that we might believe is that there's no one here to take care of me. Like, I have to comfort myself. Or I don't know how to deal with this thing, so I'm going to escape into this because it's going to offer some temporary release or something like that. And it doesn't ultimately satisfy anything, right? It doesn't actually fix any of our problems. And yet in the moment we believed the lie. So it's always tied up the two. Now thankfully, because Jesus conquered in the desert, you and I get to conquer in the desert. It's even, I think about this analogy. Sports people who love watching sports will often include themselves when they're talking about their team. We won. We're going to the playoffs. Notice it never goes the other way when their team's doing badly, right? They screwed it up. They should have run the ball, right? But when it comes to Jesus, we really can say that because we've been united to Jesus in our baptism. So because Jesus had victory in the desert, you and I get to have victory too. He's giving us the grace that we need to overcome. Because Jesus has victory, we get to have victory as well. So I know that it can get really complicated when we're trying to figure out where the lie is in the midst of our temptations, and we feel like the devil's just never given up on us, and it can be really discouraging. If we're willing to lean on Jesus, if we're willing to turn to him and ask for his help, he is going to be right there. Because we've been united to Jesus, we will also have victory over sin and death.